Alright, yeah, we're back. Still stuttering? Yeah, the thingy's in yellow. Huh. Streamlabs really just deciding to be dookie right now when we're in the class trial. Why is it in yellow? My internet's ass right now. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, my streaming experience and minor issues. True, this isn't really a game that requires smooth frame rate. But still sucks that we're not having it. Goddamn. Why Streamlabs, like the little bars in the bottom left that show how it's going, like from red to green, is right now in yellow. And I'm pretty sure it's probably my internet, because my internet is complete ass in this room. But I can't really control it, so I guess let's hang in there. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right?
It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
They're complicated like that. Okay, hero.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect from my internet, because I'm pretty sure it's a connection issue. You know what? Maybe it'll stop being maybe it'll help a little bit. No, it didn't help the connection at all. I tried though.
If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
It should have been obvious.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
I bet my brothers are playing Fortnite right now or something.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Well, duh.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
If Kyoko
Alright,
really
something
is
about the
still
tattoo.
alive,
Then who died?
There's gotta be... I don't think so. The face was scorched and there wasn't any description. Well, if we can't identify the...
There we go.
What's wrong?
What the fuck did you come to? Danganronpa.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and
Jesus,
unusual
Toko.
death. This I gotta see.
Okay, hero.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The
The
key
tattoo.
to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Is this an anime? It's a visual novel game, like a murder mystery type thing. There is an anime of it, but it's not as good as the game because you don't get as attached to the characters from what I've heard. An epileptic person's worst nightmare. True, true.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No.
That's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Well, if you compare the tattoo to the... Did you see a cock? Maybe. Wait. So what was... What's this? This one might be it. I remember Fenrir gets a tattoo. Yeah, I think that one's it. Yeah, that's it.
I got it!
Of course you saw a cock.
The
Of course.
Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
It looked big. Oh boy. The image that represents Fenrir is... Oh, fucking... The wolf. They're furries. They're all furries. All of Fenrir is full of furries.
Now I understand.
You bastard. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Yikes there, Suka.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir.
Looks like the frames have calmed down a little bit, so that's nice. Like, the connection's actually in the green now. You're deducing? Hey, me too! Alright, we're gonna put the hood back on, you guys. The thinking hood.
So it must have been Mukuro.
Yeah, Mukuro Ikusaba. We learned about her existence last chapter, and now she's just dead. That's how this game goes.
isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
So edgy. Ah ha ha ha. Oh, I'm such a cool kid. I listen to edgy bands and
You sound
put on a hood.
but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed.
In reality, I just want my
This
ears to be
time is
warm.
solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? Now we have to have a...
Ikusaba's not the mastermind. It's obviously some sort of corporation if this is all being televised. Why did it take them so long to figure out the dead body? Because the only people with competent brain power who are still alive are Kyoko, who they thought was dead even when she was standing there, Byakuya, and Makoto.
No, it means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to
They're
me.
not the ultimate despair, they're the ultimate soldier.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
True, she does have brains. But she was still almost believing Hagakure.
She was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
This is getting a little meta.
which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
Headmaster.
But how can we trust that?
Am I
We
right?
already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Yeah, sure, whatever, Bear.
Please limit all future
One bear.
chatter and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Togami. He stakes Togami on
I
it.
have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused,
Bear.
let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
Yeah.
Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no. There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along.
Okay, Hero. While that's not a completely terrible assumption, I don't think that's right.
Nope.
That would
There
just
are
be
only
poor writing.
16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Okay, thank you, Bear.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Sounds right.
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Well, Makoto and Kyoko.
I got it!
Me and Kyoko were the
Narrowed
only
it
ones without an
down to
alibi.
Yoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last
So did
night,
Kyoko
I
do
went
it?
to the garden, so I can confirm
Or did I?
that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
Wait, but there's no way it happened at night. Because if it happened at night, then the sprinklers would have gone off in the morning. Because they always go off at 7:30 a.m. and then the body would have been wet.
That's right.
But the body was
Four of
dry.
us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful.
See, the game
not to go
doesn't think
anywhere
that I
alone.
assumed this
We
yet.
even went to the bathroom.
It would be
again.
cool if it was Makoto. True. True. Yeah, that's about all I can say.
All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis.
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
Man, I don't want anybody here to die, but there's a good chance one of them will, so that's rough. So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name. Monka eyes.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Objection! This is just Phoenix Wright. It's Phoenix Wright all along.
I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Sprinkler
Me
system.
and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock.
The sprinkler system, that's
The
it.
murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Yes.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then
Too
and
much
when we
jibber
found the
jabber.
body?
Let me give the evidence.
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
Like a 9.
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So we could go mine for some diamonds. 9 o'clock.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Well, then Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay, then looks like the game has begun. But I can't provide an alibi for that period. I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during that time that I don't have an alibi. With the sprinkler system, easy. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Sprinkler system. Calling it now, that's what I'm gonna use. Sprinklers, yup.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 7:30.
Hold on, I'm gonna wait.
Enough time to commit murder. So Makoto, if you
Okay,
have any
I think 9:30 is when we go for sprinklers.
We've established a time. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep. And
Yeah, from 7:30.
No? Okay. So it's not that.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Come on. There's something that happens in the garden at the same time every morning. Thinking that the corpse is almost totally dry, in which case I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden.
We've established
So maybe
a time
the
frame
exploded
for
body analysis
It took place
somewhere between
should be
10
set
and
at
9 o'clock.
7:30.
Yep. And
Yeah, from 7:30.
No? Damn it.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 7:30.
That's more than enough time. So Makoto, if you have any
All right.
objections, now would be the We've established a time. It took place
Somewhere between...
Maybe there. What? Why at 10 o'clock? Why the 10 o'clock at night? Why couldn't it have been at the 7:30? 7:30 is the time the sprinklers go
Actually,
off.
The murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
Yeah, like at 7:30, where I could have said that.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30...
Oh yeah, I don't think I said welcome, Royaz. So I'll say it now. Welcome, Royaz. Or I said it and just completely forgot because memories just leave after they happen. I don't retain them.
Then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Awesome.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How?
Only the top half was wet. The bottom half was dry.
Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
That's not what I said at all, Toko.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Shut up, Toko.
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Yeah, the body analysis. Oh, okay, so we're doing this.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! How can you say it wasn't the sprinklers?
This should prove it.
Easy.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
Yep.
If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because
Well, I threw water on her.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Yep.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
So did Kyoko do the killing?
Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
But there's gonna be a plot twist. There's no way. Toko is really annoying. She's the reason I keep having to read the word master, and I don't want to read it anymore. Wait. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Makuro's killer is... Oh, I refuse to believe it. Maybe Makoto did kill her. I mean, yeah, maybe Makoto killed her, and Kyoko wanted Makoto to get out scot-free, so she took the body after 7:30 in the morning to the garden. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying that's a possibility. No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone.
Well, I was thinking maybe self-defense. And I guess that throws my theory out the window, because if she's outright saying that she's not the culprit, then no, she's not going to try to take the fall for Makoto.
This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me?
I mean, he does want to keep his ratings up. Maybe a plot twist kill from the bear would keep him up.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh?
Huh?
She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
But you know how long these trials last for. These trials go on for entire lifespans.
I'm not the only
There's no
one
way we
without
already
an
came up with the
alibi.
conclusion.
Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
If it was moved after it was killed in his room.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep
The
it
tarp.
from getting wet.
Covered it with the tarp in the bottom half and then moved it. A certain something at the scene that was used to cover the body. But if it was Makoto, then... And we're Makoto, and we didn't see us do it, then what?
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
This game really out here making me question myself.
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water.
And why did I help you come to this discovery when it when it completely destroys, you know, what it's looking like for me?
In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
But we were sleeping in a fever. I don't think we had the thought process to do that.
In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body... Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Alright, what do we know that could take out that argument? Body before the explosion, exploded body analysis, fragments near the dead body.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
I remember the blood on the body hadn't dried yet. Byakuya even warned us not to touch it to avoid getting any blood on us.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting
So
wet.
maybe I used body before the explosion.
The reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
There would be blood on the tarp. You're genius,
That side was
Sats.
protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Dang it, that's where I need to do it, right where it said didn't get dirty.
By covering the body, killer prevents.
So the reason that is because the spring, but the underside, it was totally. It's because that side, since it was faced, of course.
It didn't get dirty.
No, it's wrong.
You're smart, Sats. You're smart.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Then why wouldn't they wash both sides?
If they had, they would have washed both sides.
Yeah.
Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like
The
that?
nurse's office is what Hifumi used to fake his
I
death
know!
with.
They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Yeah.
That's what Hifumi did, right?
Hero, you have a
When he
brain cell
pretended to
after
be
all.
dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Wait, what? You got blood from right there in the garden, which must mean... What? They killed a chicken. They killed a chicken.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
There was a missing chicken.
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood?
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
What was the other thing that was said? Man, that's messed up. Okay, yeah.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
Nah, it was plastered on like a blanket.
I think so.
Nah, they was put over them.
Wait, no.
They weren't
The
in the
head was
sleeves.
through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Yeah, it was just like placed on them.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred.
Kyoko was making so many stretches, kinda sus. True. I mean, she knows what the killer did a little too well.
They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off,
Is Makoto even capable?
wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult. They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body.
What?
They'd be done in no time.
Wouldn't we have seen if Makoto did all this? Because we're Makoto.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Byakuya? Could be. But he was with everybody most of the time, wasn't he?
Then he had plenty of time to spare.
Except for when he went off with me. I don't think Toko really left his side that much.
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For
gotta be
serious,
Kyoko.
man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
That's a terrible idea.
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Oh yeah, that's Makoto's knife. Boom, bringing suspicion back to me.
It's one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Yeah, the knife you guys gave to me. I should have mentioned that it was missing before we found the body. Yeah, we can't give it to Toko, give it to Makoto. Everybody trust Makoto.
The knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah, I just didn't mention it.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Yes, very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto. The knife
Fragments
we
near the
found
body.
lodged in
Maybe I
dead
used
body.
that at the.
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatic...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No, that didn't work.
Shoot!
The knife we found lodged... It's the same one. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatically...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, so there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Coat was put on the body after the tarp removed, which means when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead... It's the same one. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatically...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question.
You took that knife.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Damn it. Getting stabbed's what killer. Yeah,
knife
the
we
exploded
found-
body
it's the
analysis.
same one. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatic...
Well,
Getting stabbed is what killed her.
No?
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that seals it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically
Well,
Getting stabbed is
what killed her, so there's no... Who took that knife?
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
I feel like it's
The
getting
knife we
stabbed is
found
what killed her.
is the same- It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it.
just because I had that automatic.
Well,
getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, God.
Shoot!
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
Disguised dead
It really
body.
is, isn't it? I was afraid.
if he did have that seals it.
Just because I had that automatic.
Well,
Getting stabbed is
There we go.
No, it's wrong.
Oh my God.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
Half a heart left.
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
lies. We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
That was very close.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
I'm gonna get an impression of Eric Cartman. Oh boy.
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim that stabbed in the, wait, victim was stabbed in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. The explosion, the victim dead before the blast, the victim had been stabbed a single time. Stabbed a single time.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only
They be
one
hating on you in the
stab wound.
Discord? That's rough.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
I mean, if it really breaks any, if they're hating, breaks any rules, then that's, then I'm sure a mod will step in. But if it's just hate, then I'm sorry, man.
Then the knife.
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Dang, man.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Why don't you tell her, Byakuya? Why is it always placed on Makoto?
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, We saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
No, they didn't kill Monokuma. That was a Monokuma that was deactivated. They thought Monokuma was dead or something. And that's why it wasn't working. So they dismantled that Monokuma since it wasn't doing anything to try to figure out what was in it.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
This is hella spoilers, so like if you're worried about spoilers, we're literally in the second to last chapter, so
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
and if Monokuma was dead, we wouldn't be in a class trial right now.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
This follows the anime follows the story of this game. So yeah, it would be spoilers for the anime as well. Yeah. In fact, looking at the screen right now is very much spoilers for the anime, because... Well, hold on. I'm just gonna give you time to click away if you want to. Hi. So are you wanting to stay and watch even though spoilers, or? I'm just keeping it here so that you don't look at the screen and see two very big spoilers that are on the screen. So you are gonna stay? Yeah, am I safe to click back to live scene? You'll rewatch? Alright, alright. Just making sure. I was giving you an opportunity to click away if you wanted. We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Because that's what the file says.
She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
There was? Oh, I didn't remember that evidence. Oh no. Okay, crap. We're back to where we were a moment ago.
Continue the debate?
The victim's fatal in...
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't you, and then...
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. And more than that,
The victim had suffered countless
Wounds across her entire body.
No? Oh no. Thanks though? Alrighty.
shoot.
No. Nobody believes me. Nobody here wants to hear what I have to say. Wait. This is different. Well, at least this confirms that Makoto's not the Blackened. At least me losing confirmed that.
Then shall
All right.
we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that
It's
showed
not
More
that.
than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue the victim's fatal injury has yet to
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Is it that? No? This is... Oh, wait. Maybe I have to use somebody's.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah. She was...
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover-up, and all those wounds on her body weren't fresh. Which only leaves...
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Probably that.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me because of the knife. And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I don't know which one.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined,
No.
correct?
Shoot.
I don't know which one it is.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The
That's not what I
explosion
meant to
didn't
put.
kill her
Okay,
for
thank you.
sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already told.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Shoot!
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me. And then...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Which only leaves...
Then shall we continue the debate?
The victim's fatal... The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me. And then there's...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has...
No, what's wrong?
Finally!
Mukuro died because
Alright,
of
see you
the
later,
blow to the
Sats.
back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then... What was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
That might have been a Frankerface Z or Twitch TV emote that I just don't have added because I have other ones added. I don't know for sure though. I don't know about Bless RNG.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop those nasty brains of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Why doesn't Byakuya ever contribute? He always makes me contribute. The real murder weapon. What could be used as a murder weapon? Titanium arrows?
I got it!
Yo, that actually worked. That was it?
Hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, but there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Okay, is it the wood block here or the bloody duct tape? Let's see.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Okay, that sounds right.
You don't sound convinced.
I don't-
What's the problem?
Well, as in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
Bloody duct tape probably counteracts how thin they were. They used duct tape to combine them.
Titanium arrow.
It was in the dojo. I have no doubt that.
Are you sure?
You don't sound.
Well, it said the weapon must. It seems like an arrow would.
No,
Boom.
it's wrong.
5 head, big brain. Big brain.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
Kyoko did it,
Killer
didn't she?
probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Man, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
Otherwise, that locker key wouldn't have been in your
How can you
room.
say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course.
Don't we, Makoto? Of course he pawns it off to me. Byakuya, do some own goddamn work for yourself.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Yeah. The wood block key.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her.
Remember what happened last time? We really thought Aoi was the person who did the killing,
No.
and Makoto
it's
was
not
the one
that
who
I
was
want to defend her.
wanting all the
It's just-
facts.
There's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there?
Probably getting the knife.
That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Because the killer came into my room. Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... She killed someone. For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? Finally, he's the one who's put on the spot instead of Makoto? What does that mean? And of course, Makoto's still put on the spot.
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide something.
there's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime and then left the locker key in my own room. But could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not the...
You should understand that more than...
Byakuya,
Master would never...
there's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, he did have the key to her room. To be fair, I didn't look
If
at
I'm
chat
right,
until just now.
Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Huh? Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What if the Mastermind put the key in there? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap? The victim was Makuro? And Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. You spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. You know the danger. Am I wrong? Okay, yeah. What do I do? I have to decide right. Oh, I don't know what to do. 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 Oh, God. Running away is not the option. There's no way running away is good. Let it go. I'll trust Kyoko. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it.
I don't think it's Byakuya either.
I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
Shut up, Toko. You have no valid input here.
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time.
Yeah, he does have an alibi.
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Oh, now he's gonna blame it on me.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Oh, we were on to Monokuma, and he knew it.
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
Who are Kyoko and Makoto? Makoto's the main character, Kyoko's the girl with white hair. You know how they said they were always in twos? What if Byakuya was with Toko and she would lie for him because she's madly in love with him? That could be the case.
What do you mean time's up? There's
She's
no
fine with
time's
dying
up.
for him to escape.
Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Voting time?
Well, don't look it up. Looking it up is spoilers. And don't tell me if you look it up.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well, they all voted me, but I didn't get a game over. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job?
Yep.
They got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey.
It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills,
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Hey, what's up, Solid? Wait, why do I... Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
You like the black side? Don't say spoilers if you're saying spoilers. I don't want you to say anything about the game. What is... Why is he pink and purple? Style choice. Wait, alter ego? Why did I just see alter ego? Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that... yeah, it had to be.
This
Alter ego. Alter ego? Is that some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell. I don't believe this.
It would seem...
Seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
Good at voice acting, you're great at it. I want to. That's one thing I really want to do. What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us.
Why are you talking like you've already won?
Do it then? I'm trying.
I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko. What's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school tower, over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope into the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school, and two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. Standing here at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Yeah. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside of a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up his last little bit of strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself, and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began.
First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in a school's garbage pit? This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. Oh no. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. This is just like the Star Wars trash compactor scene. I'm Luke, Han, Chewie, and Leia. I don't remember if all of them were in that scene, because I haven't watched the originals in a long time. But that's still not enough reason to give up. Because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I will never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was and that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells...
This place
awful.
smells awful. Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. Oh, sorry, I had a little burp mixed with a hiccup. I don't know what was up with that. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Whew! That really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up yet, then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But, Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no. To atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me! No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However,
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
it's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words,
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
indeed.
That's right. At least I did. Once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory. That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. You're hooked now? I mean, I have all the VODs uploaded on YouTube if you want to watch all the past. Some of the sound quality on the first 2 or 3 parts are kind of trash. But, the VODs on yesterday's and today's, and the one before that, I think, sound fine. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you? And the game is much better than the anime from what I've heard.
why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? Mastermind. One of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Gah! It's just like that dream I had before, but... Why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just... I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so... I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality.
You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember. But at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. I called that! I called that so many episodes ago. I was like, she's really good at investigating and figuring things out. She must be the ultimate detective. I called that in like chapter 2. I'm 5'head, you guys. 5'head. I called that. I knew she was the ultimate detective. I knew it. I called that so long ago. If I knew how to edit, I would edit the clip right here. And that could happen. I could do that one day. I could edit the clip right there one day. I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy. There was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What? 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 That's a bombshell. I already read that
In other words...
in my own reaction. I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster. No matter the cost. Yeah, this is flashback. I don't voice act the flashback because I already voice acted it a while ago. My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I had seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map.
Indeed.
This is the layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remember that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That
Part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
Is the second floor of dorms like that one room that we found on the 5th floor?
Can I leave? Can we leave? I better talk to Kyo. Oh, why is it stopping the conversation so much if I gotta click back on her?
However...
Of course, once I got... Okay, yeah. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mikuro Ikasaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means... everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mikuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared. And in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was... The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. Free to explore Hope Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in.
Let's finish this game tonight. No, I'm not going to finish this game tonight. I'll finish this chapter tonight, but I'll do next chapter tomorrow.
They couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound to the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mikuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point when Mikuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto.
You can't hear me because I have no... Ow.
That's what I said. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the God of Death. What? I can hear the God of Death as he moves.
Same. You'll say peace for now? Alright, man. See ya.
I can hear the God of Death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to do with the work of the mastermind, an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mikuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted us to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mikuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mikuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair just seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
The despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. To be continued. Wow. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. And this? This is where I leave you guys off. So, once again, thanks to everybody who tuned in so much for watching. Thanks to everybody who chatted, anybody, just anybody who interacted with the stream in any way, even if you just stopped by for like 5 seconds and then popped out. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Just thank you. And thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow, a lot happened in Danganronpa, and I'm going to have to catch a lot of people up when I stream it tomorrow. But tomorrow we're going to finish this game. We're going to uncover the secrets of Hope's Peak Academy. Love you, Economy. You a cutie. No homo. But, yeah, like I said, tomorrow we're going to uncover the secrets of Hope's Peak Academy, and I think we're going to finish this game. So, we'll see you on the next one.